Hi, my name is Colleen Adrian, and I just want to talk to you for a couple of moments today about connected parenting and why and how some of the parents who I work with who are trying to learn to parent in a more connected way than they were raised sometimes get um, stuck, especially in the difficult moments when their kids' behavior is a little bit off. Maybe their kids are misbehaving or being aggressive at school. Maybe they're having tantrums at home. Maybe they're older and they're choosing not to go to school, or they're failing at school, and what have you. Anything where your child's behavior and they're doing something that worries you because you think it's not going to be okay for their long-term well-being. There's a couple of places that parents get stuck. One of them is just simply not having very many skills for parenting in a connected way. So if you were raised in a family where there wasn't very much connection, maybe it was authoritarian, maybe your parents just weren't around very much, whatever reason, there wasn't very much connection. Essentially you didn't have anywhere to learn it. And so it'll be more difficult for you, and you may need a little help to learn those connection skills. And the other thing that comes up that really contributes to parents getting a little bit stuck when they're trying to learn is irritation or frustration or anger. And there's a couple of reasons that happens. One of them is because we tend, if we were raised in a place, in an environment where behavior was the main focus, we tend to have expectations that we'll simply be able to tell our kids maybe once or twice what they should do. And then because they know in their head they should be able to do it. So we get frustrated when it doesn't happen quickly enough. And that's not the way it works in connected parenting. And the other reason that we get frustrated is sometimes it's our old emotions getting triggered. So again, if we were raised in an environment where there was less than optimal attunement and connection, and most of us were, then we will have experienced emotions in those times when we were either punished or when our parents couldn't attune to us. And the emotions that we experienced, maybe they were frustration or irritation ourselves, or anger, or maybe we felt powerless. So when we experience those emotions, if we didn't have somebody to acknowledge us or help us to process them, we will have held those emotions inside our bodies, and then they resurface and get triggered when our kids are behaving in these ways. So those are some of the really common places that parents get stuck. And I just want to say that from my own personal experience and from my experience of working with parents, those connection skills can be learned. And it's really, honestly, one of the most satisfying journeys that you can take as a parent, to take the time and the work that it takes, the effort that it takes to do the healing work that you need to do to learn the connected parenting skills. Sometimes it doesn't take too much. Sometimes it takes a little bit more, but it's so worth the journey. You get to have that connected relationship with your child that you're deeply longing for, and your children's behavior and who they turn out to be turns out okay generally in the long run, because they stay connected to their hearts, and that's where their authenticity arises from. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear them in the spaces below.